right, thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Lim-Nakrin here with attorney Suri Chada-Jimenez. Thank you so much for being with us, Suri. So we've got a couple major stories that we want to update our viewers on today. Within just the last few moments, we've actually learned that a hearing date of February 15th has been set for the hearing on the allegations involving Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, and just kind of updating everyone the latest on that. If you guys aren't aware, Miss Willis is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with this special prosecutor who she hired to work on the investigation, the prosecution of the former President Donald Trump and numerous other co-defendants in alleged election interference. So remember, there was a motion filed by one of the defendants, Michael Roman, his legal team, last week, and then we are expecting an answer from Ms. Willis, and then a hearing on this matter again is going to be February 15th, is what we've just learned within the last few moments here. Okay, so Suri, my question to you is, what do we expect in this hearing that we have just learned about within the last few moments?
I probably expect the DA to get up there and attack the issues that are relevant as to whether or not somebody should be prosecuted, and dismiss any other of the allegations that have nothing to do with a prosecution of a crime in Fulton County.
So, we were just discussing offline a little bit about the next steps for Ms. Willis. So a motion was filed by like I said, one of the defense attorneys, and now we would expect a response from Ms. Willis. Talk a little bit about the timeline for that and what the response would look like.
Well, most of the time when somebody files a motion, the other party has 10 days to respond, so I expect them to file a response within 10 days. And again, the response is going to be only as to the merits of whatever's being alleged. If something is just put on a motion for the sake of being salacious and getting the press to start talking about it and getting attention, I don't expect anybody to respond to that, because it doesn't change anything with the prosecution of this case.
Okay. We talked about, what if the allegations, we were just talking before the stream, what if these allegations are untrue? If the allegations are untrue, could Ms. Willis actually file a lawsuit for defamation and slander?
It's possible, yes. Anybody can always file a lawsuit, but because it's in the context of filings in a criminal case, it's very unlikely that the suit would go forward, because whoever filed it, and in this case, this defendant through his attorneys, whoever filed it supposedly has a good faith basis to put those allegations up there. They still have to be proven, and if a defense is always whether or not it's true. If something is true, then that's a defense, defamation or slander. Or if it's just an opinion, that's also a defense. And we get the other factor that comes into play is that DA Fonnie Willis is a public figure. She's an elected official, and sometimes when you get out there, put yourself out there to serve the public, it comes with the territory that people will talk about you and they will lie about you, and that doesn't necessarily always translate to a civil settlement.
Gotcha. What about Mr. Wade? I mean, it sounds like Mr. Wade may less likely be considered a public figure. Could he sue? Do you think he would be more successful in filing a civil claim?
It's possible. If they are just pretty much attacking him for no reason whatsoever, just for doing his job, and they're doing so with lies, it's possible he could start a lawsuit. But again, he's acting as a prosecutor, which, even though he's not a career prosecutor, he's not a career public servant, his current role puts him in that spotlight. So he might have the same difficulties in trying to win a civil lawsuit if he ever goes that way. And I highly doubt they will. I think they just want to put this behind them and move on with the prosecution of the case.
So it sounds like you believe that, what these folks do in their personal life really has no bearing on the case. That said, do you think that it's possible that the motion could be successful, that the charges could be dismissed, or that Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade could be disqualified from prosecuting the case?
So I don't expect this to result in a dismissal, but it is always very possible that the court might determine that the particular DA's office that is prosecuting this case has some conflict of interest, should not be part of the prosecution, thus someone else needs to handle it. Maybe it'll go to the to PAC, which is the organization that oversees all prosecutors in Georgia, and they'll assign another DA's office to handle it. But that's going to be an extreme measure, especially because some people have already pled, and the case is scheduled